Yeah, I mean, I think we've been really well balanced through the first two games, and I think we take pride in that because there's times where we're going to be able to, or we have to run the ball, and we're going to be able to do that, and we're going to have to sometimes throw the ball, and I think we're going to be able to do that well. So I think it's just really taking advantage of what the defense is going to give us because the defense can't take away everything on the field. Just that's how football works. They're always going to be giving up something, so we just have to be keen to like what they're giving up and just take advantage of that as much as possible.
Drew, how do you feel about the runs that you had? I think you had 5 or 6, maybe more. It looked like the one run you took a pretty good shot. How did you feel about running the ball that much?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have one way or the other. It's a part of the game. Yeah, I just take what the defense gives me. They were dropping a lot of 8 in coverage today. They had an outstanding scheme to their defense, and you can see why they're so well at their level and how well they always play. But they did some really good things on defense, and they took away some of our stuff. And sometimes when they drop 8, you just need to step up in the pocket, look to throw, and then just take off when you can.
How do you think Bo played? And as a QB, you're back there. When you see some of the things he can do that may be a little different from you, how much of an appreciation do you have for that?
Yeah, he played outstanding today, and obviously he's a very dynamic athlete. I think he showed that a lot today. Broke off a couple explosive runs, was very physical in the run game too as well, and then he also made some really nice passes and reads out there and changing the protection. So Bo had a really good game today, and I mean it's just good to see him get out there and play so well.
In what ways did the offense take a step forward today, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think we were more consistent than what we were last week. I'm not sure on the missed assignment numbers after the game, but it feels like we did a better job of eliminating mistakes and MAs on our offensive side of the ball. So we'll find out that number tomorrow, but it felt a lot cleaner than last week from that respect. I think we just did a good job of staying level-headed. We scored, I think, 5 out of our first 6 drives in the first half, so I think we did a really good job of just keeping our foot on the gas pedal and not letting up anything.
How ready do you think you guys are for the Big Ten season?
Yeah, I mean, I know we have a tough challenge next week. The Big Ten's one of the best, if not the best, conference in all of college football. So, I mean, we're going to see a lot of different defenses. We're going to see a lot of talented players. But I think throughout the week, the coaches will get us prepared to play whoever we have that week. And they've done that the first 2 weeks really well, and I'm just looking forward to keep building off of that.
Drew, last year, I'll take it. After watching film against West Virginia, was something you tried to identify to work on, and do you feel like you accomplished that today?
Yeah, I would say the main thing I just tried to work on was protections. West Virginia last week did a good job of bringing overloading some pressures, and I think we did a lot better job this week with protections because Delaware they ran a lot of different stunts and they held the shell pretty well too. So I think we did a really good job of just identifying that, and the offensive line did a really good job picking everything up today.
Last year, you were the guy that was.
Can you talk about the job the running backs did today?
Yeah, I mean, they had a really good game. It was good to see both of them going. I'm not sure what their averages were, but they probably had to average near 5 yards a carry apiece. And the offensive line did outstanding. I know Katron on a couple of the plays, especially going down, I think at the end of the half, was very patient and made some crazy cuts that not many backs in the country can make. And then obviously Nick is just an explosive runner, but I think they both did a really good job today.
Last year, you were the guy that was coming in the second half. Now that you're the guy that in a game like this, you would be getting your rest midway through the third quarter. Obviously, it's understandable, but the competitor in you, was that frustrating at all to have to?
No, not at all. Everybody on this team works extremely hard. Most people don't know how hard we really work, especially in the summer when there's not much classes going on. We put hours into it, whether it be lifting weights, running, or in the film room, and it's everybody deserves to be out there and playing because everybody's here for a reason. And it's really good to see those guys that maybe are young or inexperienced get out and get their first experience, especially in a home environment like Beaver Stadium.
After your first start, did you talk with Brad at all, and what feedback did he give you on your performance last week?
Yeah, I talked to him a little bit. He's been busy doing his thing back home, but yeah, I talked to him a little bit after the game. I mean, we haven't really dove into it a lot, but I mean, he sent me a couple notes from at least mechanical standpoint.
if I was reading James right, I think he said there could be instances where he works Bowen a little bit earlier in the game as a change of pace. Would you be open to that? I guess you have to be open because he's the coach, but how do you think that could help you guys, I guess is what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would present a lot of different things to the defense because obviously we saw that Bo's a very dynamic athlete, a very explosive one, and he can both run and pass. He's not only a running quarterback, he can definitely drop back and throw the ball. And yeah, I'm open to whatever gets us the win at the end of the day. So that's all that matters to me.
And did you get a chance to watch Illinois when there's a game like that? Do you guys watch a Friday night game, or how do you handle that?
I didn't last night because noon game, just sleeping. So yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Thanks, Drew.
Drew, coming off your first win as a starter last week, just kind of from an emotional standpoint, being a big offensive player, how do you think you handled this week coming into today's game?
Yeah, I think the whole team as a whole did really well because it's easy after a win like that to be very high on yourself and not really take the next week's opponent seriously. But I thought we did a really good job of that. I thought the leaders on offense, specifically Theo Johnson, really steered the offense in that direction. Just being as dominant as we can week in and week out. And I think that really set the tone in the beginning of the week. So, I mean, it was easy. It would have been easy last week to get our full of ourselves, but we have to come in each week and do what we're supposed to do.
Did you do anything specifically that you wanted to share?
No, that's just going to be in-house stuff.
You work on a million things, obviously, in the summer. What's one of the smaller details that you are doing consistently right now that you go, I didn't do that last year? Feet, throw. It seems like the throws to the field you do better with this year than maybe you did last year. Consistency-wise, what's the thing that comes to mind?
Yeah, I would say consistency in footwork. I think last year I caught myself taking multiple different drops on the same play, and I wasn't really ready to throw the ball sometimes, and it caused some accuracy issues. But I think this year the coaching staff really cleaned up everything with me with footwork and when to use certain footworks and stuff like that. And then obviously just being a full year in the offense, you learn all the receivers, and you just get that more natural timing down with them as you spend more time with them.
You're obviously confident, but when you actually go out and do it, is there a feeling that's a little bit different of how that confidence comes across internally when you go, okay, it's not a mistake. I'm actually good at football. I can do these things. I can go out and do them. I mean, how does that change from one year to the next when it actually matters?
Yeah, I think, just the biggest difference is my comfort level from last year. I think last year I knew I thought I knew what I was doing in instances, and sometimes I was just wrong. This year I know what I'm supposed to be doing, whether it be run plays or pass plays, and I think just everybody has that inner self-belief on the offense that we're very good, but we have to go out and prove it. We can't just say we're very good offensively and not go out and play like it. And I think it's a mindset, and I think we're doing a really good job through the first 2 weeks of doing that.
James talked about how you last season kind of prepared as if you were the starter. You just talked about feeling more comfortable. Obviously, it helps you now as the starting quarterback, but can you describe just how much getting that experience last year and training like you were the starting quarterback helped you?
Yeah, it helped tremendous amounts. Even last year it helped tremendous amounts. When I was on the sideline watching the defense, I was very prepared and very keyed in on what they were doing from the sidelines, no matter if I was playing or wasn't playing. And then I just carried that same mindset over this year. If anything, I'm doing it more this year. And last year I did do a lot of it. But I think I'm more efficient this year in it because I had a full season to learn what works for me, what doesn't work for me. And I think this season I've nailed down a good routine throughout the week to be able to get myself ready for games.
Do you also see that in Bo?
Yeah, for sure. I think we see it in all the quarterbacks as a whole in our whole room. And obviously Jackson is new to it, so we're teaching him what we learned last year. But I also see it a lot in every room. I think we meet a lot more with receivers and tight ends on our off days when the coaches aren't really in the building or allowed to be coaching us because of the rules. So I think we as a whole offense, we do a really good job of being prepared at the beginning of the week.